Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from Seattle.
280. 14.
Kill. Check your hot read. Tight dog.
Got it. Hey, easy. Touch.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 47.
14. Spot that.
Watch the whip.
Wilson. Forced out to his left. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Gun.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And it's hauled in by Ed Dickson. And he's going to be taken down with the 1st down at the Ravens' 23.
That's another Seahawks 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Check three. Hey.
They'll run on 1st down. Carson. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork.
And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks take the ball down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and through by Myers. And it's now a 7-0 game. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Marquise Brown on the return. The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Alert 3. Check 31. Kill. Match box. Mike.
From the gun, Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. The sack there by Rasheem Green. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12.
Hey, check Mike 57. 57. Mike 57.
Jackson now. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
It's going to be a long day.
Check, 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 check.
In the face.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
Look, guys, 4 down, 4 down.
On the ground, this is Rashad Penny. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
19.
Check 48's the Mike. Check 48's the Mike. Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
Hey, alert 48. Alert. Hey, we don't like the 48 right now. Let's go.
All day, dog.
From the shotgun, Wilson going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 35. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, 75 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. The extra point now coming from Myers. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. The touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stick.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 14 upcoming. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
Here's Jackson to throw. And it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they will finally stop him, but a great return. Gets that football all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Check. Crunch. Crunch. Crunch.
Hey, look. Hey, good job right there. Good job right there.
Penny, a first down carry. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 10-yard line.
48's Mike. 48's Mike.
14. Bang out. Bam.
Check 37. Zoom. Mike 48. Come on.
On 2nd down and 4. Wilson dancing to his left. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4.
3 down.
Gotta go. In and out. Let's go. Touch 50.
Now it's Wilson. Flush to his right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but you're
You don't
down.
want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Ready? Hey, hold on. Go, go, go. Tight end right. Tight end right. Go, go. 3 down. 3 down, 3 down. Hey, number 8's coming. Number 8's Mike. Mike, shoot up, shoot up.
On second down now. It's Ingram, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up third down.
Buddy up. 57 to Mike. Here we go, D. Here I come.
On third down, Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. It's caught by Mark Ingram. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Throwing is Jackson. And this one complete to Seth Roberts. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Pass from Jackson complete to Ingram. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll make it a second down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes it 2nd and 9. Jackson's throw on target to Willie Snead, and that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 19. This is Ingram on 1st and 10, and they'll get him down right around the 16. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Here we go. AC Gator. Got you, boy. I got you, boy. Watch side. Come on. Come on.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. It's complete to Snead. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. Jackson from the shotgun. This will be caught at about the 6. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's second and goal.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And here we go again. Here we go.
Here's Jackson. Eluding the pressure right. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Mark Ingram in the final seconds of the first half as they are now on the board here in the first half. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And it's 17-7.
Makes the score Seahawks 17, Ravens 7. Justin Tucker set to kick off.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You just feel it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Let's go. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
Hey, guys, listen. 48 to Mike.
All go special. All go special.
That's it.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game, as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Shift! Watch the shift!
Throwing again on second down. Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Seth Roberts. And it'll bring up third down.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long prepping for the game, they had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes, and we'll be in great shape.
Jackson. And he's got Snead. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Jackson now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. That one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. He was trying to go back to Hollywood there. And it's second down. Stepping aside from this game for a second, how about us being in Week 10 of the NFL season right now? That makes me want to resurface that MVP talk we had earlier in the year. Who do you have right now leading in the MVP race?
Is this quarterbacks edition only, or can we actually bring other people into it?
Yeah, go wherever.
Because the league does tell you that MVP can be anyone, but numbers show us it's really got to be a quarterback. So let's just start there, right? Russell Wilson in Seattle. I think he has to be a prime guy. I think you have to look at Tom Brady, all right? It's always Tom Brady. Patrick Mahomes, if he can get back into the lineup and be his usual self, he could get into this race again and maybe defend his crown. And Aaron Rodgers from Green Bay has really come on in recent weeks despite a stumble against the Chargers this past week. But how about Lamar Jackson? I mean, what he's doing with Baltimore and their win over New England, you got to have him as a prime candidate. And you know how much I love Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, he's a special one, isn't he?
Oh, he is absolutely special because he does it all. And if they weren't risking injury, he'd run back kicks, too.
16 yards on that one at a Raven first. Jackson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Jackson. From the gun, he'll throw. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. Snead's got it. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for him. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Jackson on 1st down. He dumps it down to Ingram. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
At the 35-yard line.
Again, Jackson. This one complete to Ingram.
Jackson's pass complete to Mark Ingram.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the 4th. The Ravens on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Jackson will throw again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Letting one go deep for Ryan. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
2nd and 12 at the 18-yard line.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Again, it's Penny. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
Mike, 50. Alert.
Check 52.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Rashad Penny. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's all the way down to the 13-yard line. A terrific run there by Penny. 48 yards on the ground.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Now it's Penny running right. And he will score. Touchdown.